Um, yeah, I'm here on behalf of the defendant, Jamil Lockhart, and you're making a special appearance.
All right. Well, you got to make your special appearance to the Wayne County Jail. I told you that the last time.
Here we are again, stepping back inside Judge Perkins' courtroom, where the chaos never seems to slow down. And today, we are revisiting a familiar face who once tried to outsmart the system, but only managed to trip over his own arguments. This man skipped out on his 30-day contempt sentence and thought life would just move on as usual until reality hit him harder than any court order. He suddenly realized every part of his daily life was falling apart, from his license issues to the growing pressure of a bench warrant, and now he wants to face the music like nothing ever happened. But Judge Perkins is all business today, determined to make him serve that original punishment before anything else moves forward. And honestly, who can blame the judge? Every consequence was caused by his own choices, and every delay has been his doing. So now, we watch as he tries to talk his way through the mess once again. And trust me, this hearing is already off to a wild start, because nothing is simple when a sovereign citizen tries to be clever in court.
Yeah, so I filed a notice of removal for all of these cases because I don't believe that this court is capable of acting in an unbiased way. But I mean, there's been no response from the city, up to this point. I mean, just the last court date we had, perjury was committed. I mean, you guys put on the record that I failed to appear, and I spoke to you.
You did fail to show up to the Wayne County Jail. You were ordered to do 30 days in the Wayne County Jail. You haven't showed up. You still haven't showed up. So you're still disobeying. Let's not do this. This is how it started the last time. You're still disobeying the court's order, and you have to do 30 days. You have to present yourself to the Wayne County Jail. You have a warrant out for your arrest. And before we go over this other stuff, you got to go. You have to go to the Wayne County Jail. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So
I said what
I can increase the time if you can take to not be compliant.
Your Honor, I apologize for interrupting the proceedings. May I have a breakout room with this litigant, please, and thank you?
I don't know if he wants to speak to a lawyer, but he can if he needs to. He has that right to do so. You want to speak to the lawyer, Mr. Lockhart, or no?
Yeah, sure.
The truth is, he absolutely did fail to appear, and no amount of word games can erase that moment when his name was called, and he refused to answer properly, instead choosing to announce some imaginary title and pretend he was representing himself as a separate human entity. And that clever little stunt accomplished nothing except digging his hole. Even deeper, the court cannot accept someone acting as both defendant and imaginary attorney, no matter how passionately they play the role. But that performance was only part of the problem, because the real trouble came from ignoring clear orders and showing open defiance every time Judge Perkins tried to move the case forward. And now that he stands here trying to explain it all away, the court remembers exactly how much disrespect was shown and how many times he sidestepped responsibility. So this moment is a reminder that theatrics never beat reality inside a courtroom.
Miss Harris, what's going to go with Mr. Lockhart? So I don't know why he's still sitting here.
Well, Your Honor, if the court will allow, we would like to attempt resolution of the matters that are on the docket. So I would ask if the court could stay the contempt proceedings and allow him to handle these matters.
No. It's been well over a year. No, he's going to have to go turn himself in, and we'll deal with it that way.
Your Honor, if the court could, just in the interest of justice and judicial economy, if he could resolve these matters, if he's still going to have to do the 30 days in Wayne County Jail, if at time of sentencing, it could all be wrapped up together just to not further delay his constitutional right to speedy trial?
He's delayed his rights. He's delayed his rights to a speedy trial.
And I do have a resolution, Your Honor.
No, I don't want to, I'm not even going to entertain it. That ship has sailed. We tried to give him that opportunity a long time ago. He kept being contemptuous in the court. He comes with these far out legal theories that he has that I quite frankly, don't know where he's coming from on that. No, I'm not gonna even entertain that with it.
And Your Honor, I completely understand the court's position. I completely understand if he still has to do the 30 days Wayne County Jail, but I think that he was potentially misguided, did not understand the finer points of the law, court rules, and courtroom behavior and procedure. So now that he has the assistance of counsel, which I'm not saying that he didn't have the assistance of counsel before, if the court would allow him.
We offered him counsel then. He denied the counsel. Go back and look at the video. It's got over 270-some thousand views on it.
And now we get to the moment that practically sums up the entire experience dealing with this guy. Because watching him argue is like watching someone try to teach themselves the law from a cereal box, and then brag about it as if they invented a new legal system. And honestly, the entire situation feels like that old saying about leading someone to water, but not being able to make them think clearly. And every time he talks, it becomes even more obvious. He is determined to ignore simple instructions just to appear wise and mysterious. But all it does is highlight how lost he really is. And you can almost hear the courtroom collectively sigh every time he opens his mouth, because here we go again with another detour into nonsense that only delays the inevitable. And at this point, it feels like everyone is running out of patience, watching him repeat the same pattern over and over without learning a single thing.
I told him that 30 days will give him an opportunity to read up on the law and so he can make it and understand how this process goes. So go ahead to the Wayne County Jail. You can take they probably have some legal books there, and we'll hear these matters when you come out, sir.
Your Honor, is any of this on the record or no? Or did we not? Okay.
No, it's not on the record because I didn't call the cases. I'm going to continue on. That appears to be Charles Gardner.
Yes. Yes.
Your Honor, am I allowed to go back in the breakout room to explain that to Mr. Lockhart? Because he seems to have had a change of heart if the court would allow him to at least.
Maybe he can go turn himself in and you can file an appeal. File something to get him heard before the court. And they can zoom in from the Wayne County Jail and we'll resolve it that way. But until he turns himself in, he's got a warrant out for his arrest. He's had this warrant out for I don't know how long. I can look back into the record, but and he's never presented himself. So he was contemptuous then. He continues to not follow or obey the court's orders. So he has to go do the time. Or hire himself a lawyer to get it back in front of the court. But until we get the first matter resolved that we had, we're not going to get into the other matters.
The contempt proceedings arise out of these, his appearance in court. So he's still not allowed to just resolve these before he commits himself to the Wayne County Jail?
No.
What makes this even more ironic is how he is now pretending that he never had legal help when the court offered him counsel multiple times, and he chose to refuse it proudly, as if it were some badge of honor. And now he stands here overwhelmed by the consequences of his own decisions, and suddenly acting like nobody helped him, when in reality the judge tried to save him from himself more than once and to make things even funnier. The judge casually mentions how many thousands of people saw the original video, showing him refusing help, confirming that everyone witnessed his stubbornness in high definition. And yes, we all know exactly whose video that was. But the real point is, he cannot rewrite history just because things are falling apart now, and the court is not about to pretend his earlier defiance never happened. Because the record speaks louder than any excuse he could ever come up with today.
Okay. Mr. Lockhart, join the breakout room.
And that'll conclude it. I still see Mr. Lockhart here, I don't know what else to do, what else you can do for him, Mrs. Harris.
So, Your Honor,
He continues to disobey the court order, just continues to do so.
Your Honor, I dare not say, I don't know. I don't think that it's an intentional. Oh, I can't say that.
Wait a minute.
I don't think, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to take that back. I think he has good intentions. I think he now has a better understanding of everything that has taken place.
I don't think so, because he came in here talking about he's appearing on behalf of the person, Jameer Lockhart. So I think he's on the same path as he was that got him into this situation.
And Your Honor, we've had that discussion at length in the breakout room. He understands what it would take to resolve his matters. He understands how he has to represent himself in court. And so I think he's in a position that he wants to resolve these matters. We've had the discussion. We asked for leniency and mercy from the court. I understand if the condition is that he still has to do 30 days in the Wayne County Jail, although we would ask if the court would reconsider that sentence now that he has taken the time to actually listen to advice of counsel and be made fully aware of how he should present himself in court. I know that it's his intention to resolve these matters without any further court appearances or draining any further resources or delaying the process anymore. And I know that the court doesn't want to delay the process any further. I understand his behavior is what put us in this position as of right now, but we're just hoping to resolve today if the court will allow.
I'm not moved. I gave him ample, it's a 27 plus, maybe 30 plus minute video. I gave him ample opportunity. And I'm not moved.
I mean, Your Honor, in that video, I did apologize to you for, I guess.
You apologize after you got the 30 days.
Now let me be honest. Here, this man came into court the first time showing so much disrespect that it practically echoed off the walls, and that kind of attitude never leads to sympathy from any judge, especially not one as straightforward as Judge Perkins, who has zero interest in rewarding bad behavior. And that is why the 30-day jail sentence still stands strong with no chance of being reduced or delayed, because he earned it through every reckless statement, every unnecessary argument, and every refusal to follow the simplest instructions. This could have been handled a year and a half ago without drama, but he wanted to play sovereign citizen superhero, and now the consequences are sitting right in front of him, whether he likes it or not. And watching this unfold is a reminder that the court is patient, but not endlessly forgiving, and eventually every wrong decision circles back around and lands exactly where it belongs.
I'm not
I
moved.
apologize after the offense was, I don't know what else I would apologize.
And you still haven't showed up, and it's been over a year, and now you want me to have some sympathy for you and to resolve the matters. I have no sympathy for you at all.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to discuss We tried to give you a fair opportunity to be heard. You keep spewing these legal theories that I've never heard of before. And, I've given you an opportunity at that date to speak with the lawyer. You refuse that. You refuse all the opportunities I've given you. And you came in here another time a couple of months ago, and I told you we weren't going to hear it then. You got to go report to the Wayne County Jail. So you've had ample opportunity.
You'd have me go to jail.
No, on behalf of Jamil Lockhart, I do understand that, and I know the court he may hear this often, but he does have a family that he supports. It would be a great hardship on his family, his resources, and his sense of economy in terms of his job if he would have to submit himself to 30 days in the Wayne County Jail. I understand that the court is not inclined to change that.
I didn't just give him the 30 days on the, he should have thought about that when I was asking him. I let him speak when I was asking him to not try to overtalk the court. Let me give him an opportunity to speak. He continued to disobey that. He should have thought about that then. There's a whole lot of people up in the penitentiary that have families that they take care of, and he's not going to the penitentiary. It's just county jail. So I'm just not moved.
Would this court consider amending it in such a way that he could only do weekends to complete his 30 days?
He hasn't even come to done anything. I'm not inclined to do anything for Mr. Jamir Lockhart or the person of Jamir Lockhart or whatever he wants to be called or however he wants to be described himself. Jamil Lockhart.
So yeah, he has the matters that are set on the docket for today. He has presented himself to the court today.
Okay, you want to take off? We'll take off the warrant. We'll give him a pretrial date, and then he can go do his 30 days. And he can tell the sheriff in there that what his next court date is, and or somebody can writ him out then. City of Detroit versus Jamil Amir Lockhart, case numbers SP 1247989, counts 1, 2, and 3. State of Michigan. Now the laws just don't apply to him. State of Michigan versus Jamil Amir Lockhart, case number SX 378-29611. Appearance for the record, please.
Sherika Harris, on behalf of Jamil Lockhart, sir, could you state the name of the person that you are representing on the record, please, or that you identify, please?
So my name is Jamil Lockhart.
The direction he keeps choosing is honestly the most confusing part, because instead of taking even one small step in the right direction, he always finds a way to sabotage himself with some wild belief or strange theory. And that is why his progress looks like someone climbing a ladder, only to immediately jump back down and grab a handful of crayons for no reason at all. And every time you think he finally understands where things went wrong, he proves that he is still wandering in circles, lost in his own imaginary rule book. And the judge sees it, the lawyers see it, and everyone watching sees it too, because it is the same pattern repeating again and again with no sign of improvement. And if he ever wants to move forward, he has to break out of this strange cycle. But right now, it seems like he is perfectly comfortable, staying stuck in a maze he built himself without realizing he is the one holding the exit door closed.
All right.
Yeah, and there is currently a recommendation if the court would allow a plea.
No. He's going to have to go do the time.
So, sir, as we discussed, I think you would be better suited if you, one, hire an attorney, two, go to the Wayne County Jail and submit yourself so that your matters could be resolved. I understand that when you
Last
appear
time
in court, there's
I
different
checked,
attorneys.
he didn't want an attorney. And I guess you have gotten through to him a little bit. He changed it. He came in here, hearing on behalf of the person, Jameer Lockhart. And then when he asked him to state his name, he came and he indicated that he was Jameer Lockhart now. So I don't know what he, like I say.
I mean, if I could speak a little bit here. I don't know, Your Honor, I'm not a criminal. I just want to handle this, get this over with.
I didn't say you were, a criminal, sir. I didn't listen.
No, I know you didn't.
I didn't say you were a criminal. As it stands now, these are allegations. So until there's an adjudication of either guilt or not guilt, that'll determine, whether you're a criminal or not. So I don't know. You got these allegations out here. So I didn't make that comment. You were a criminal.
Right. No, I'm not saying that you did. But I just want to handle this and, put this to rest. At this point, I feel like it's taken up too much of my time, too much of, your time, I'm sure. And,
No. This is what I do every day, sir. I serve the city residents of the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan and whoever comes in here. So it doesn't take up my time. This is what we do.
Yeah. So yeah, and continuing, I would just like to, get this over with, pay whatever fines need to be paid. I would like to have my license back. I can't rent a car when I travel. I would like to be able to do that. So whatever I owe for these civil offenses.
Last year, over a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, I just want to resolve this. Whatever I owe for those offenses, I'm willing to pay. And it'll be done with this situation. I truthfully don't think it's your, mission to put people in jail that have not harmed anybody or committed any offense against, any actual live human being. I'm only guilty of speaking out of turn. And, I should have handled this differently. I can see that now, but I really just want to get this whole situation rectified, and whatever the charges are that I need to pay, I'm willing to do that, and I'll put this to rest.
All right. I'll let them speak. Next pretrial date is September 22nd.
Yeah,
Well,
based on the statements.
That being said, I don't think, based on everything that has happened, our history, the claim in federal court that I have against you, Michigan judicial tenure complaints that I have against you, I think you have a duty to recuse yourself from any of my cases.
I haven't been privy to any judicial tenure complaint. My first duty is a duty to sit, and I feel that I
put it in your mailbox.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, the Judicial Tenure Commission will have to come, and I'll have to respond to them accordingly if they present something to me.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Have a great day, sir. Next court date, 9/22. You're still expected to turn yourself into the Wayne County Jail.
Well, Your Honor, I would ask one final argument. I understand that he may have indicated he did not want an attorney to represent him. Jail time is a very harsh penalty. and I know that the court didn't just immediately come to that decision. I would ask if the court would consider some of the things that were stated on the record in terms of he now has a better understanding. He is remorseful of how things played out. And I would ask if the court would issue a monetary fine for the contempt rather than jail. If the court would, please.
And he's got a proceeding in federal court against him. So where is it, you know, where is this,
I'm simply trying to
But
protect.
again, Your Honor,
my
Mr.
Right,
Lockhart, on behalf of Mr. Lockhart, stop. What I'm saying, the court has to understand the fact that a lot of these things came into play before today. So if in fact there was something filed, it was before today, before having a better understanding of how the process works, how to conduct oneself in court, and that one is held to the same standards as an attorney. I would ask if the court would consider converting that jail term into a monetary fine.
Not at this point. At this point.
Your Honor, I only have a federal claim against you as a means to try to keep myself out of jail, right? It's not something that I want to do, you know?
You can take any action. You can take any action under the law that you choose to, sir. I haven't prevented you or even tried to even attempt to prevent you, and I can't prevent you from doing it.
I don't want to do that. I just want to handle this, pay whatever I need to pay, and move on.
So again, advocating on behalf of
needs to be sitting in jail. I'm an upstanding individual. I have a lot of people that depend on me, and I haven't harmed anyone, and I never would.
Understood. Thank you for that allocation. But on behalf of defense would now move to ask if the court would allow a hearing on the contempt proceedings.
That hearing has sailed. He has been gone. He has 30 days for the hearing. Procedurally, that has sailed a long time ago.
So he already had a hearing on it?
No, we asked him, offered a hearing on that. We offered him an attorney on that before we entered into found him in contempt. We offered him to speak with the lawyer on that day. He chose not to. It's been over, I would say, quite frankly, a year at least. The motion he was mentioned, he was going to file a motion by 5/27/2022. It's been a long time. Those ships have sailed.
But Your Honor, arguably he didn't have the assistance of counsel. So I would ask, did we go through all of the steps for him to waive his right to counsel in that type of proceeding?
Well, you can go back and look at the transcript. If he wants some representation now, he can either be a court-appointed a lawyer, or he can hire a lawyer on his own. But at this juncture, I'm not inclined. You know, I get people tell me I'm too lenient, and I'm a defense judge, and I try to be fair to everybody that comes through here. I gave Mr. Lockhart, and I'm giving Mr. Lockhart now over a half hour when other people only get 5 minutes to speak. I gave him ample time today and back when he came in court the last time. And you say that he's changed, but he came into court today spewing the same stuff that he started out before he talked to you that he did when he was there. I read those motions that he filed, which was in the court's eyes had no basis in law whatsoever. None. I've never seen those legal theories that he's purporting. I don't know if well, let me strike that. I've seen those legal theories that he's purported, but I've never seen those in the rules of court rules. I've never seen that in any of the law books that I've ever read. So I told him this back then, that he needs to go get the rules. I gave him an opportunity to read the rules of procedure. He refused everything. Now, is the transcript of it, you can order the transcript, he can hire his own lawyer, and he'll get whatever kind of hearing that he will get. I'm not going to recuse myself from the case.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay?
I have nothing further.
Very well. Next court date, September 22nd, 2023, will be a pretrial. Have a very good day, sir. And again, your order to turn yourself into the Wayne County Jail.
Even now, at the very end, he is still walking in with the same strange introduction, claiming he is appearing on behalf of himself, as if that somehow separates him from responsibility. And the judge recognizes that exact behavior because it is the same routine that caused all of this trouble in the first place. And no matter how many chances he gets, he cannot let go of the idea that this tactic somehow protects him, when in reality it only pushes him further away from resolving anything and watching him repeat. This approach makes it clear he has not changed his mindset at all, despite all the warnings, all the consequences, and all the wasted time. And his attorney sees it, the court sees it, and everyone listening can feel the frustration building. And unless he finally understands how real courtrooms work, he will continue walking down the same path that keeps circling back to the exact same problems with no progress to show for it.